Imagine a single light in a storm, steady, unwavering, refusing to flicker even as the winds of history howl around it. For over 70 years, that light was Queen Elizabeth II, a woman who carried a crown not as a symbol of power, but as a promise to her people. Today, I honor Queen Elizabeth II not because she ruled a nation, but she, but because she represented something universal: endurance, responsibility, and dignity in the face of unimaginable power. Her story matters to me because she stood as a reminder that leadership is not about perfection, it's about consistency, humility, and service. Listening to her speeches as I grew older, I was struck by how calm her voice could steady an entire nation. Even from afar, her presence shaped the world shaped the world I grew up in. When Queen Elizabeth Alexandra Mary became queen in 1952, she was only 25 years old. Most people at that age are still figuring themselves out. She had to figure an entire nation. She had to figure out an entire monarchy. One of the most defining moments of her early reign happened before she was even before she even wore a crown. In 1947, as a young princess, she delivered a radio address from South Africa to say, "My whole life, whether to be short or long, shall be devoted to your service." She kept that promise for the next 70 decades. Through wars, political crises, family scandals, and a repeatedly changing society, she showed up again and again every year, every Christmas broadcast, every ceremony, every national tragedy. sti- uh, Keeping the same calm voice that the world would came to depend on. In 2020, during the COVID pandemic, when millions isolated themselves and were fearful, Queen Elizabeth addressed the world with a simple reassurance: "We will meet again." Those four words echoed across the country and continents. For many people, it wasn't a message, it was comfort. It reminded them that doesn't vanish just because the world feels dark. But this speech isn't just about the Queen, it's also about what she represents. Some, Something everyone, regardless of culture or nationality, can understand. Queen Elizabeth reminds us that leadership can be gentle, that strength can be soft spoken, that dignity isn't outdated, it's essential. We honor her not because she lived in a palace, but because she lived a life with purpose. She showed the world that responsibility is not just a burden when it can be embraced with love. If you even if you never followed the royal family, her life speaks to something we all know. One, the world needs people to stay calm when everything is falling apart. Two, the world needs people who can keep their promises. And three, the world needs people who lead by example, not by volume. When Queen Elizabeth passed away, millions lined the streets, not because she was famous, but because she was consistent, a steady hand in an unpredictable world. She proved that influence doesn't come from power, it comes from presence. It comes from showing up for 70 years without fail, always wearing a smile, a handshake, or studying words when people needed it most. She was a light in the storm. Even though she is gone, the path she illuminated remains, guiding us towards the kind of strength that was never needs to be shouted or heard.